Hello, everyone. Welcome in. Thank you so much for joining my co host Mary and I for another Spiritual Learning Thursday. Every Thursday, we go over a different topic. After we play the video on the topic, we'll take any questions that anyone has and we'll try to answer them the best that we can. If you have any ideas on what you would like to learn about in the next upcoming videos, please leave a comment. We will be with you shortly. If you would be so kind as to take this time to give a like and share out the video, it would be greatly appreciated. Sit back, enjoy the show. Thank you so much again for coming. Hi, everyone. Thanks for coming in. Hi, Kelly. Hi, Diane. Hi, Scott. Hi, Kim. Hi, Boomer. Welcome in, everyone. I hope you're all well. Um, yeah, I'm going to see if Mary comes in. Um, we'll chitty chat just a little bit. Then I will play the lovely video for you guys. Um, wow, how'd you get pizza that fast? What happened? Oh, you had it delivered. You had it delivered, didn't you? Well, I was like, how? I had a few muffins. I don't know exactly if it was dinner because I made these banana muffins and then I decided, no, they need something else because the banana wasn't ripe enough, I think. So I didn't make it too sweet. So then I put chocolate frosting on them. So I don't know how dinner that was, but it's just down in the fridge. Okay. So, yeah, but that's what we ate for dinner. Yes, that's what we ate. I, yeah. All righty. So now, oh, good. All right. So I have the links ready to go over some more stuff. We're going to play the video in just a second. Mary said she'd be right here. So, yeah. Let me get YouTube up. Let me get the video up. And yeah. Did you see my first comment? Yes, that you found the site. Uh-huh. No problem. No problemo. A lot of police activity going on today. Don't know what's going on. Mhm. Yeah. I didn't put any makeup or anything on for you guys. Sorry. Anywho, um, yes. So, oh, I also wanted to talk to you guys. Sunday, I'm still doing the Sinister Sundays, but I'm going to look to find real people, real people, yeah, real people like you and me, real people telling a paranormal their paranormal experience, whether they told it on a vlog, whether they told it to the newspaper, whoever they told it to, um, a podcast, so a lot of people do that. So I'm going to try to start doing like people's real paranormal stories. And if you guys want to share one with me, please give me a story on Messenger. So this Sunday is the first Sunday, this Sunday coming up, that I started episode 1. So you'll see how the story is. They're not long, but you can not real people. So well, not like not like fake people, like just a random person telling their story. Like 'cause sometimes you look at these stories, especially from these big haunted places, that either people are trying to get your money and that's why they told you that story so you could go stay at that their haunted hotel or whatever. So not those kind. Like a regular person just wrote a vlog about, wow, this is what happened to me, or this is what happened um to my mother or whatever. So if you guys have some of those stories, please get me a messenger to tell me the story, and then we will tell it on the Sinister Sunday. The full moon and the eclipse is what's going on. Hospitals and police have extra staff during full moons to help lunatics. Here's Mary. Um, yeah, so that could be. Um, so yeah, hi Mary.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
You can hear me?
I
Yes?
can, yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
All right. Just making
Yes,
sure.
you can. All right.
Hi, Boomer. Hi,
Um,
Scott. Hi, Kelly.
sorry, Kelly.
Who else is in here? Hi, Diane.
That's what we got today. Diane, Kelly, Boomer, and Scott.
All right.
We had Kim, but it must be her computer acting up again. I don't know. Because she was here, now she's not here.
Well, Kim, if you're listening, hi, Kim. I left a drink in the game, so y'all need to go over and get it.
When did you leave it?
About 5 minutes ago.
Ah, Mary. 5 o'clock is the
I was
time.
preoccupied. I'm sorry, I couldn't do it. I was writing a condolences note to my
Yeah, you want to
family.
send me on the messenger, Boomer, or no? Ken. Alrighty. Yeah, so what we'll do is we'll share this really quick because God forbid I should remember to share these things.
I share what really quick. Oh, you got a message coming through?
No, I'm gonna share the live stream really quick.
Oh, I didn't know what you was talking about. So I asked. Yeah, it
We
could be
got
either
it there
or.
on live stream. We'll just throw it up on a few things.
Yeah, I need to share it out too. I haven't done that.
And then we'll get us started. Here or there, it doesn't matter. Hi, Evie. How are you?
Hi, Abby.
I collected your drinks, and then now Mary made me go back to get hers.
I got it. I think, Abby. I got everybody's. I thought I got 4 of them. I know that.
I put mine early, like they should be at 5 because you know. Hmm.
Remember, says here or there.
Hmm. Oh, Kelly's here. Sorry, Kelly. When I was sharing, I shared with you again. That's all right.
Let me go
You're gonna
share.
see me
I'm hoping I don't lose y'all. I might.
twice. All right. So here we go. While Mary's sharing, I'm going to set up the video so that we have that ready. All right. Got that already. Hey, Cassie. Thanks for coming by. Today we're doing the effects of EMFs on the body, on the chakras, and how it relates to paranormal. Now, yesterday I asked the spirits um if they can maybe play with the EMF a little for us to like show you guys. They didn't look thrilled, but I will try it. I don't normally ask them to do anything except the crossovers with me and maybe sometimes translate. And of course I asked your guys spirit guides to do the readings and stuff with me. But I don't really ask them to do things like, talk on devices or um I really don't. I don't normally do that. Hey, James. So um when I asked them, hey, can you do that, they were just like, huh, what what are we doing? I don't know about that now. Hey, Kim. Yeah, we changed our clocks Sunday we had changed them back an hour. I don't know. Um, but I think that's how it goes, back and forth with these stupid clocks. Anyway, um, so let's see. I don't know. Maybe they'll do some thing if I put on a song for them. So let me see if I can lay out. Mary, I'm just gonna see if okay. Can you guys see my EMF meter? Okay. If I put on your song, can you show them how? Maybe I can move this a little closer. Um, I don't want to move it too close, but I just want you to be able to see it better. Does that work for you guys? I'm talking to you guys spirit wise. Does it work? Okay. So here we go. I'm gonna see if I put on your song. Can you play the? Can you show them? Okay, thank you. We're doing good here so far. Here we go. I'm gonna put on their song "Shine" that they like because that's the only one I probably won't get. Um, hit for because it's a religious children's song, so they don't usually hit you for that song. Um, so let's see. I'm gonna put it a little, I'm not gonna put it too loud for you guys to hear, but
Can you still hear me?
yeah, I
I
can
went
hear
over.
you.
All right, I went over and shared out. I didn't know if I got knocked off or what.
All right, but
Hi, Cassie.
just give me a
Hi,
second
Kim.
because I want to play their song
All
and
right.
show them how they do to the EMF. So give me one second.
All right.
Let's see if they'll do it. Oh, you're gonna be really shy now? I know. Uh, I'll put on your song. You're not gonna play the lights for me? Show everybody?
You see that little orb go past it, like it went through it.
Well, I'm not looking at my camera right now. Like,
All right. It was.
I figured they would play the lights like they normally do, but
Right.
they are playing with the meter. The lights are going off. They are playing with it. My meter is not next to anything. I'm pretty far back from it. Um, there's nothing behind my kitchen table that would
Hi,
cause EMF.
James.
There's nothing on the table. Um,
They're messing with it, you guys. I mean, I've seen it go off.
yeah, I was
Hi,
hoping
RPI.
they would play it to the song, but they're kind of like, no, we're not doing that. We're just not. You're not making me. Oh yeah, they're like, no. I don't know. Maybe
Uh-huh.
the person who used to do that is like
I
not
know.
wanting to
I
do
know
that
it's one
anymore.
there.
But so this is what my EMF meter looks like normally. I'm gonna turn on my microwave.
Once it starts running, it will off.
So I'm gonna turn on my microwave, guys. So you see, that's my EMF meter. My microwave is over there. So I'm gonna put you back on the EMF meter for a second. And that's what the EMF meter does when your microwave goes on. You see like instant, like, okay, the EMF went from nothing to all the way to red and stayed there while you have your microwave on. Hey, Kyrian. So yeah. So that's not a normal EMF range when you have your microwave on. It has a far reach. I could put it even further and the microwave will still reach it, which is even scarier to me because I'm like, I sit here with the microwave and I put this on and I was like, holy cow, like what the hey? How much EMF am I getting from that microwave? It's craziness, you know? Um, so yeah, so I show you more of that in the video where I actually have the EMF meter further away and it still has such a reach for the EMF for the microwave. So uh, yeah, which spirit is present at the moment? Well, I probably have lots. Um, I have the spirit guides and then just the ones that hang out. Hey, Randy. So yeah, that was just like I said, the microwave. I put it on for a second. You could tell the EMF stayed on red. Um, And my Wi-Fi modem puts out a heck of EMF field. I never tried
Yeah, it
that.
makes me wonder how much of that EMF we're getting off the microwave.
Yeah, and now so the problem is the microwave is in the danger zone of the EMFs you shouldn't really have for your body. So let's roll on the video, and then we'll go back to the discussion about the we'll go about the discussion. So let me turn you guys around. I'll turn off my camera for a second. Boop, boop. So I don't get you all dizzy. Camera.
Hey, Kelly. we need to spend a day of crafts making tinfoil hats.
Yes. The phone doesn't remotely put off that much EMF, and actually they say the phone EMF is not that bad for you, but yeah, there's so many other things that are. So let's see if I can get this set up for you guys. Yeah.
Boomer's chomping at the bit, you know that's right. I can I can feel it.
Yeah. I forgot the circles. It's kind of hard to get it in the circle, but we're gonna do the best that we can. The video will play after, so like you'll be able to see the video on the channel after. I should have mirrored the camera too while I was at it, but anyway, here we go. There we go. I'm gonna play the video, and like I said, as long as you could hear it, I think we'll be fine. Affect our body in negative ways. We'll also dive into why are EMF detectors used to detect spirit energy. Exposure to electric magnetic fields, EMFs, both natural and man-made, can lead to various effects on the body, ranging from stimulation of nerves and muscles to tissue heating, depending on the frequency and the intensity of the fields. Some of the short-term effects: nerve and muscle stimulation. Strong low-frequency electromagnetic fields can induce currents in the body, potentially stimulating nerves and muscles, leading to sensations like tingling, dizziness, or even faint, flickering visual sensations. Heating. Radio frequency fields, RF, can cause tissue heating, potentially leading to burns or other damage if exposure is high enough. Audio perceptions. Microwave RFs, emitted in the form of very short pulses, can be perceived as clicks or other sounds. Behavioral changes study have shown that exposure to EMFs can lead to perceptual and behavioral responses, including fatigue, difficulty in concentrating, and increased frequency of headaches. Now, the long-term effects. Potential cancer risks. While research is ongoing, some studies suggest a possible link between long-term exposure to EMFs, particularly low-frequency magnetic fields, and an increased risk of certain cancers like leukemia. Some research suggests that EMFs may also be associated with other potential health effects, such as a change in the nervous system, sleep disturbance, and cognitive issues. Here I do a little test. I put two EMF meters on my table about 10 feet from my microwave, which I have on. Now, as you see, the pink EMF meter is in very dangerous territory, totally on red and not blinking. Once the microwave is off, you'll see that the EMFs go back to totally normal. Well, normal for my apartment anyway. Electrical magnetical fields are not all the same. Different frequencies have different potential effects on the body. Now, let's look at EMFs in context to our chakras. Electrical magnetic fields are seen as vital energy centers that influence the body's electrical magnetic activity, potentially affecting the flow of energy and overall well being. In traditional practices like yoga, chakras are viewed as energy centers that facilitate the flow of energy within the body. These chakras are believed to be electromagnetic in nature, meaning they interact with and are influenced by the body's own electromagnetic fields. The health and balance of chakras are thought to be directly related to the flow of energy, and any disruption to the electromagnetic field surrounding them could potentially affect the chakra's functions. Modern lifestyles with exposure to devices emitting electromagnetic fields like Wi Fi, cell phones, etc., could potentially impact the natural electromagnetic activity of the body and consequently the chakras. Some practitioners believe that natural therapies and practices can help restore optimal electromagnetic activity in the body, potentially contributing to the balance and health of the chakras. Some natural therapies that can help you restore optimal electromagnetic activity in the body are chakra balancing, meridian tracing, acupuncture, polarity therapy, and those are just a few. Now, let's go over why people in paranormal circles believe that electromagnetic fields, EMF, play a role in detecting spirit energy. They theorize that spirits or ghosts are energy based entities that can interact and manipulate these fields, causing disturbances detectable by EMF meters. The core idea is that spirits are not physical entities, but rather forms of energy, and like all energy, they can interact with electromagnetic fields. EMF meters or detectors, which can measure the strength and frequency of electromagnetic fields, are used by investigators to detect potential paranormal activity. Some believe that when a spirit is presented, it will cause fluctuation or spikes in the EMF readings, which suggests there's an entity interacting with the environment. Some scientific basis. Some researchers have explored the idea that certain brain activity, potentially triggered by electromagnetic fields, could lead to hallucinations or altered states of perception, which some interpret as evidence of paranormal activity. Some scientists say that long term exposure to high EMFs can actually cause your perception to change and believe that these EMF spikes are caused by paranormal. Have any of you ever checked the EMF in your space? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you like this content, please check out our spiritual learning playlist for more. And if you're not subscribed, consider subscribing. We'll see you on the next one.
Alrighty. All right. Let me turn you guys back around. Then we'll talk about some EMF. Okay. So that was the video. And let me turn my camera around. Back to settings. All right. So I thought it was interesting. I'll read you some more about the chakras and the effect it has on the balancing and all that good stuff. So
Remember, said he put them links in the Facebook,
yeah,
I guess Messenger.
actually, I'll just read that one part in Boomers that tells you what EMF is on the beginning part of it. Um, so commonly called EMF, electric and magnetic fields are invisible lines of force present present in the natural environment and wherever electricity flows. So sources of EMF include electric power lines, electrical wiring in homes and business, home appliances, office equipment, electric tools, and hospital diagnosis equipment, right? Um, the field, and I'll show you a picture here. So you have a lot of it ranges from safe all the way to dangerous, right? So safe and even beneficial or appropriate dosages come from the earth, which is ELF. Power lines and like your outlets are FLF, which are okay. The almost safe but low to dangerous, you get into your computers, your radio frequencies. They call that almost safe, but low danger unless it's like so constant, right? The radio frequencies, all that is like almost safe, they say. Then you get into the danger zone with a microwave, infrared, um, you know, ultraviolet. Now, it could be safe and beneficial, but inappropriate dosages. So you can't like sit in the sun for prolonged periods of time or be exposed to it without, having some problem. The super extremely harmful is X-rays and gamma, which those are the ones that are really bad for you. And the ones you should try to stay away from. But the regular flow of current is safe and beneficial, especially the natural, like in the earth and all that stuff. It's not causing you any problems. So this one's the one about the chakras, but right before that, I'll read you the other one, which this is from the National Library of Medicine. Okay. So, and I'm not going to read this whole thing because it's a lot. But energy medicine is something they've been studying for a while. So energy medicine, EM, whether human touch or device based, is the use of known subtle energy fields to therapeutically assess and treat energetic imbalances in your body, bringing the body system back to homeostasis, which is balance. And this is where we get into your chakras. Now, they in the medical field talk about your whole body, but these chakras are your core, right? Um, the feature of EM depends on the ability of allopathic medicine to merge physics with biochemistry. So I don't want to go, into all this because, it's a lot of medical talk. Um, but they are looking into how all these things are affecting us and how we can kind of get back to normal or balanced, as they say, which is why I thought it was so important to go over how we can balance our chakras and how it works in the chakra sense. Um, so the chakra system is a scientific framework that allows us to understand the subtle and invisible energy that permeates the human body and influences our health, emotion, and consciousness. And this is by Dr. Hiroshige Motoyama. The body is a vast energy field, and each chakra is a gateway to a different level of consciousness. The molecules of emotion exist in the body, and there are physical manifestations of how we feel. Our emotions influence our health, which is why the idea of energy centers in the body makes sense. Um, Scientists define chakras as subtle energy centers, but the clincher is this: science can only work on direct um, observational phenomena. So when you assess energy in physics, you work on measurable quantities, okay? Like kinetic energy, potential energy, or electromagnetic magnetic energy. Chakras, on the other hand, are linked to um, even your life force or prana, which has no direct scientific equivalent of framework, except for them to say that these energy centers are centers that are affected by energy, right? So technologies like EEG or MRIs, which are functional magnetic imaging, measures brain activity, and other tools measure energy fields like electromagnetic radiation. Um, but you can correlate the physical phenomena that your chakras have on your, you know, mindset. An experiment by neuroscientist Richard Davison focused on 8 long-term Buddhist practitioners with an average of 34,000 hours in mental training, compared their minds in a meditative state and in a neutral state. They found the generation of high aptitude gamma rays in their brains, showing higher capability of neuroplasticity, attention, memory, learning, and happiness. So, this Japanese scientist, Dr. Hiroshimi Marutoyo, I'm sorry I said your name wrong. He's a scientist, a philosopher, he does everything. Is one of the few researchers who attempted to scientifically investigate the chakras. His study combines his expertise in psychology, physiology, and all this other stuff with advanced instruments he developed to measure subtle energies. He hypothesized that chakras emit specific kind of electromagnetic radiation and claimed that his device could measure weak energy fields at chakra points when participants focused on them. In fact, He also said that the individuals trained in meditation or yoga showed stronger, more measurable energy emissions at the chakra points. So I thought that was interesting because they're actually doing a lot of work on it. But if you just look at where the chakras are in general, and what organs are associated with the chakras. If you look at like what organs are associated with the chakras, um, so you have your crown chakra, which is your brain stem and spinal cord. Then you have your third eye chakra, which is your eyes, your pituitary gland, um, and the brain. You have your throat chakra, right, which is your tongue, um, your respiratory system, your esophagus. Your heart chakras, your heart and your lungs. So, because those, and I could go through all of them, but then you have your solar plexus, is the intestines, the pancreas, the bladder, the stomach, the sacral, which is your bladder, your ovaries, your kidney, your gallbladder. Then you have your root chakra, which is the testes, the kidneys, and the back part of your spine, right? So all those things, of course, with our natural EMF that we have in our body, um, of course, these things like your heart, your eyes, your spinal cord, your tongue, your lungs, all that can be affected by energy. And that they have proven, like by saying, you can get cancer by high radiation, rays, and gamma rays, and all this. So, um, it's so interesting to me to figure, to actually do some tests on it, because I always used EMF. I never thought about it until they started bringing it up in paranormal, and I thought, what a great way. So I really only researched the paranormal bit of it, like why do they think that you know, it can, detect spirits. Um, but I never looked at it in other ways, like our health, our balancing, all that stuff. Can you share the screen on the table on the first site? On the first site, the medical site, you mean? Or your site? The site you sent me, or that medical site I was reading? I can throw all the links in the I'm gonna throw all the links in here in case anybody wants to read more on it. So let's do a share, copy link. So Mary, anything on this? Now I'm gonna share some of the links of the 3 things that I read.
Nope, you hit it all as far as what I would have said. I mean, the chakras and stuff, that you hit it right.
Um,
So,
okay, so here's the first site, the medical site that I was reading about these energy medicine that they're currently studying. Um, and then I'm going to give you what are EMF, and that.
what do you mean energy medicine that they're studying? What kind of energy medicine?
Oh, I read it like that they're studying how the effects of energy messes with your
Affects your daily
body.
life, your nerves and stuff like that. All right.
Um, so this one here is what are EMFs. This one also gives you that picture about like what's safe and what's not safe. So that's this second site that I'm putting in there. And then this third site, and like I said, I tried to find doctors and stuff talking about it. So this third site, copy link, is about the chakras and all that. There you go. No, well, yeah, there's no specific link they say. However, I was more talking about the way if it affects your natural field in your body, how it can throw you off balance. It can really mess with your um your perceptions, I think anyway, messes with your attitude. And I do think that because this one said, this one said,
And it can mess with your mental health stability.
yeah,
It
but
can
this
mess
one
with
also
all
said
that.
the worst kind of energy fields are X-rays and gamma rays, and everybody knows that X-rays and gamma rays are dangerous for you and does create it. And if you're around it long enough, like that's why they cover everybody, like you're the only one who can get an X-ray, like they stand outside of the room, because those X-rays and gamma rays are very bad for you. They can give you cancer. um if you're prolonged, if your exposure is prolonged to these kind of things. So those are, you know, that is something that, has been proven. Um, you know, but they said, there's a lot of experiments on EMF exposure being from natural sources, then lower frequencies,
Right.
um, like radio waves, and then they have done extensive on microwave, radio frequencies, you know, now smartphones and 5G technology um, coming out. So now they're still always researching.
Evie
So
asked is Evie asked a question.
hmm,
Is the natural EMFs what ley lines are made from?
well, no link to cancer should be looked at closer. Yeah. Um, according to, and this is why I never did a spiritual thing on ley lines, because according to scientists, ley lines don't exist. So
Right.
they definitely don't do anything according to ley lines. And that would be
I
something
personally believe
we
they
would have
exist.
to test. But if it's in the ground and it's man-made, um, if it's not man-made, I should say, if it's a natural occurrence, the natural occurrence of EMF is not bad for you. It's the man-made EMFs that are not good for you. Like what X-rays give off, the amount of EMFs that X-rays give off, the amount of EMFs that gamma rays give off. Right. Like I said, we'd have to do our own research on that, because the government doesn't want to hear about no ley lines. Anyway, um, we'd have to go to a like parapsychologist for that to look into that kind of stuff, and I don't know. Mary, I'm going to let you talk for a second and look at it if there was any more questions that I missed while I was gabbering, because I really got to use the ladies' room.
All right. Well, okay. Let's see what the chat's saying over here. I gotta get to it. Yeah, I'd want to know about the cancer part of it too, but you stop and think about it, if it's causing all these other problems, there's bound to be a link in there somewhere to cancer. They just haven't found it yet. And who knows, they may not even be checking into that part of it, but I would say there is. I agree with that, Boomer. I think there is ley lines. I do think it comes from the core of the earth, and uh I feel like that it's all natural because it comes from that. And I mean, when God made the earth and the whole 9 yards or whatever you want to look at that, the universe made it. It's which I believe God's the universe. That's how I feel about it. But anyway, they're there, and scientists don't want to believe they're there, but they're there. Well, yeah, I know, Boomer, but I meant like I know about the paranormal side of it, but I mean I'm talking about cancer side. There's bound to be they're bound to be looking into that. I would think. I mean, it's if they're looking into the EMF period and what it does to a person's body. I mean, I would think it would, in my opinion.
Well, yeah. Why did they come up with all these things to block the rays from your phone? Why'd they come up with sunblock? These are things that
You get all the
they
rays off of
tell
the
you you
off the
can get.
sun and stuff, and that's harmful to you. And
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
what do they call the rays that comes off of there? Yeah, there's a name for them.
Yeah, I
Anyway,
just said the ultraviolet rays, which
right,
have
ultraviolet. Yeah,
EMF
that's
in
what I was
it.
trying to think of. Ultraviolet.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, there's
yeah, and
EMF.
the bad
EMF's got to
rays
be doing
know that.
something.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that EMF radiation does not cause an increase of cancer. That is misleading. Oh, I don't know, but like I said, it must not be healthy for you if they, like I said, if they have to step out of the room when they give you an X-ray, if you know they do
Oh,
everything they can to block the
well,
ultraviolet rays and put on sunscreen and here's these blockers for your phone so it's not
no,
always,
Burma, it's not the same thing. But well, what we're trying to say is that it
um
still affects your body
no,
regardless.
but X-rays give off EMF actually at a frequency of 300 PHZs to 30 EHZs. So they do,
EMF is a side effect of radiation. Okay, there you
yeah,
go.
right. EMF and radiation is not the same, but
Kelly had a question earlier.
X-rays do give off EMF frequency.
How far back I gotta go, Kelly? Okay. That was a response to what Scott said.
Depending on who's funding the research, it can, Kelly. But I'm assuming that there's enough there's enough study on the EMF frequencies that ultraviolet rays give out, infrared give out, you know, compared to what the Earth gives out. And this, I mean, I'm assuming that that's pretty much them telling you, oh, that's frequency off. The frequencies list which, what EMFs they give off. I'm assuming is correct. I would hope so. Mhm. You know. No, I didn't have a question. Okay, I hope we answered it.
What?
She said,
No, I didn't have a question. Yeah,
I
yeah.
think
She
we
said it was
answered.
She was telling
Yeah.
Evie it was something to do with what Scott had said. So I've seen that.
Okay. Um, yeah, I tried to go with like National Library of Medicine, like institutes and stuff like that. I tried to go with reputable people
Right.
like scientists and doctors because I figure, well, at least they did some studies on it now, you know.
It's smarter
Um,
than I am.
you know, right. Um, so, I would assume they did some studies on it. But yeah, they're not saying that it you know they're saying it has to be prolonged. They're not saying if you come in contact with it once in a while
Right.
that you're gonna get cancer. They're saying it has to be prolonged, that you're like, exposed to this, like, which is why it's good to, just check your house because maybe there is something that's giving off an extreme amount. Maybe there's something wrong with that device, you know? Maybe I could have looked for a more energy friendly microwave now that I'm thinking about it, you know? Right. I just took little parts out of it, Boomer, um, for discussion wise.
Read the private chat.
Um, oh, okay. I'll message you on that.
A messenger. All right. The Earth's core gives off about 300 times the amount in EMF than any device or appliance any man has ever. I'm not whispering, Boomer.
No, she had a question for me, and I told her I'd answer her message.
Right. I had a question. It had nothing to do with the subject at hand.
All I'm saying is, don't just read one study on Google. Take, oh yeah. Well, that's why I went through. I do a lot for the videos. You know me. I don't take the first one. I took a few different ones.
She
I
reads
read,
several, trust me.
yeah, I read a lot of them, and the ones that I think are the easiest for me to understand. Then after I read a whole bunch of them, and the ones that go with consensus. I'm gonna say that the ones that you go with consensus.
Boomer.
Um, the ones that go with the general consensus, like if you're exposed to prolonged X-rays, gamma rays, it could cause health problems. Um, because your body has its own energy magnetic field in there. If it is disrupted by outside sources, that it could throw you off balance. That seems to be the consensus with most of the articles I've read, although a lot of them didn't do the chakras. Um, some people did, and so I went with the one that was the doctor and not just like the medium. Because there was a medium who did a whole thing about the chakras and the balance and stuff, but I was like, nah, I'll go with the doctor. Even though she had about the same idea as the doctor, I think the doctor explained it better. But yeah, you can find a lot, and that's just with everything, whether it be paranormal, whether it be about your health, whether it be about um anything really. Um, you can read 25 articles and 25 people will have a different spin because that's how people are. And that's kind of what I was talking about the other day. It's like, well, you know, um, you know, it's hard to find some information about some things because even scientists put their own spin on things. And why that maybe paranormal will never be really studied by scientists because of the fact that they don't believe in it. So they don't care to study it and they don't want to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Because that's their own thing. If I don't believe in something, I'm not going to study it, you know? You get it. And it never wears off. It just builds. Yeah. Like that is called the library. Yes. Regardless of the source. That's true, Kelly. Um, okay, Boomer. Mary will send you the link. Mary, you want to send Boomer a link?
Yeah, I can. Let me go over and get it.
Okay. um,
Hang on, Boomer. I'm going to it now.
so yeah, everybody has their bias. Let's call it bias. Everybody has a bias against something. So they're never going to tell you what they said originally didn't exist. you know, they're just not. I don't think so. You know, so, that's why you have to take the consensus. And that's what I do. I take the consensus. What most, what the most people say about it that coincide with each other. So if 25 people say one thing, but only 3 say this other thing, I'm going to go with the 25 just because that's the consensus. Um, you know, unless it sounds totally crazy to me, then I have to look more and more, which happens with most paranormal stuff. But usually with these kind of things, it's a little easier because technically it's not paranormal. EMF is a normal, everyday thing, right? So, and it is in our body. Um, I didn't go over that part. They had a whole big, and I mean, they have a lot of stuff about the EMF in our body, which you guys can look that up. But of where, how much and where it sits and, all this stuff. But that's basically where they get the idea from, too, that you can have EMF around when there's spirits around. Now, it could also be that spirits, because they're energy, like sometimes when I look at my EMF meter and I can ask them a question and they answer with the EMF, I don't think that they are manipulating the energy. Not that they're so much making the energy field, they're manipulating it, which might be different. That's what I wanted to talk about. Well, there you go, Boomer. I think Mary sent it to you, the link. Like, so if we take the EMF, can we do one more
It
thing?
should be there.
Um, I'm just gonna move you just for a second here.
Did you get it?
Yeah, he got it because he just.
Okay, because I was like, I know I sent it. Hi, Boomer.
Oh, there I go. I made it.
I just here to fuck it
Son of a bitch, what did they do?
up.
Hello, am I still here?
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
gotta find the window again.
I'm laughing at what
I
you
gotta
got
find
down
the
there on the
window.
bottom for your name.
What does he got?
You know it.
Oh.
Absolutely.
So yeah, so sometimes I think the EMF, like there's no EMFs now, right? And if I ask them, can you interact with the EMF device by, I don't know, lighting it up once? Obviously, they're not standing or touching the EMF. They're gonna interact with it to make it go off, you know?
Right.
Oh, did everybody leave me?
What?
Um, that's kind of what I wanted to touch on. You mentioned it earlier about um people there's people that have studied it, I guess. I don't know where you got the information from, but you said they um believe that we harness EMF, that like wherever the source came from that you got, uh say we all have EMF within our bodies as well, right?
Right.
So the question I wanted to pose to those who say they don't believe that you can detect spirits based on an EMF signal. Why is my question? Why would they deny that but accept the fact that we all have EMF? Now, the easiest way to explain why we have EMF and we don't give it off, think of it as a power line. Think of it as like a, a, a
Source of
wire
energy.
in your walls, a power line in your walls that's insulated, that directs the current from point A to point B. Okay, so and once you slice that insulation open, that electric energy disperses, right? So you think of it like that. When we pass on and our spirits leave our body, that's the EMF we have. But our bodies act like an insulator. So that
Right.
it's not picked up readily or easily on EMF meters. So I don't understand how these people can agree on that part of it, but not the
I agree with that.
paranormal part of it. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm in the middle of my living room, at least 4 feet away from a TV that is not on, which is the only major appliance I have in my living room, and I'm picking up an EMF signal momentarily, and then that EMF signal goes away, and I walk forward or back or whatever, I walk around and find it again, it goes away again, and I find it in another spot. Like, how do you explain that? You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
obviously, it's not my TV giving off the EMF because, for one, if you looked at the chart on the first link I sent you of that first site, if
Yeah.
you scroll down to see the chart and how much each one measures and how far it measures out, and
Right.
these are while those devices are turned on.
Right.
Okay, they have to be turned on to admit that far. Although they do always harness that EMF if you get close enough to, like, my TV downstairs hasn't been on for months, but if I get close enough with my EMF sensor on my phone, it'll set it off a little bit. I'll get one, maybe two lights on it. Okay, that's because of the EMF it harnesses. Because we all know televisions and a lot of other appliances, even after you turn them off, they harness that. That there's still some sort of charge within that device until you discharge it.
Even if you unplug them from the wall, they're still that way.
Yes. That's more so in the old style TVs that have TV tubes. But there are the power sources in even today's flat screen TVs and stuff like that still harness a little bit of a charge anyway. So it's like, and I'm glad you brought that up because I wanted to like mention that. Like, where do these people, if they can agree that we have EMF in our body, where do you think that EMF comes from? Why do you think that EMF is no longer there once we're just a corpse?
Right.
Right? You can't I put a challenge to anyone that during an autopsy, I want you to have an EMF meter next to that body and try to pick up EMF. It ain't gonna happen because the EMF is gone because that spirit is gone. So if our
We're kind
body,
of like the ley lines, you know. It comes natural for us to have EMF in us because of the spirit we carry.
right, and that's what I'm saying to those people that can admit we have EMF. Why can they not admit that some EMF signals come from spirits still, or spirits energy that's still lingering?
Right.
Even if it's just residual energy, you know, it still measures on an EMF reader, even residual energy, because it's energy. It's just dispersed now rather than being harnessed. And that's what I don't get by, when you said they, I don't know who you were referring to.
Right. Well, um
The doctor
I
about the chakras,
yeah,
right?
one of
Yeah, okay.
doctors
Okay.
said that we have.
Now, is there anybody in the scientific world? Does it say anything in there that any doctors or anybody in the scientific or medical field agree with those findings that
Right, well,
human bodies possess an EMF?
the doctor who's talking about the chakras, he's a doctor and he's a
Is he a
scientist.
medical doctor, though? There's all kinds of doctrines.
No, he's a scientist and a psychologist and
Okay.
a physiologist.
All right. Has any MDs ever, like, do you know of any MDs that would back up what he claims?
Well, I think that one that was done by the medical one, and I have to go back and find it. That was done by doctors, but I don't
Okay.
know. Let me see this.
And these are the same people that will tell you, oh, if you're picking up EMF, it's got to be from something else other than a spirit, right? And I'm like, if this person agrees with this doctor about us having EMF, why can't they agree with the paranormal part of it, in that some areas you pick up EMF at can be from spirit energy? I don't get it. It's like, that's crazy that, it's like, I don't know, but it doesn't make any sense to me that they would agree on one but not the other.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, the one of them, I mean, it talks about quantum physics and all that, but it does
We don't even get
say
into all
that
that.
when they're using EM, which is energy medicine, when they start measuring the different types of energy in the body, like with X-rays and magnetic imaging and
Right.
electrocardiograms and all that, it results in, um, it introduces specific tissues and organs that alter or absorb external electromagnetic fields. So when they say external, they mean it's
Right.
outside.
They
So
mean
they
the
know that
stuff
you
that we
already
take
have it
in from our,
inside,
the stuff
you
we
know,
absorb from our atmosphere,
right. But because they
and
said,
appliances and things like that.
right. But because they said it can alter or absorb external, it to me means that you already have it in you. Like if you read this whole thing, I mean, there's a lot of it. And
Right.
it was the first link that I put about the medical stuff.
Right.
This is a whole thing done by the National Library of Medicine. But anyway, they have a lot of information. I mean, it's like pages and pages of it
Right.
that I was trying to go through. It does touch on the chakras and what the it does touch on your chakras. Wow, I might have not even got that far. And down here it tells you the different frequencies of hertz that correlate with EMF. So the crown chakra, which was your what did I say was your brain,
But
your spine,
EMF,
your spine center. Anyway, so it has 216 hertz of electricity.
right? That's not even a gill. That's not even a milligauss. That's not even a milligauss.
Right. I mean, but
So,
it just
so
happens to tell
the
you the different frequencies.
the standard measurement of EMF is in milligauss. The
Yeah.
Earth's core, if I remember, I think gives off 3,000 milligauss. It's in that article somewhere.
Right.
But it gives off at least 300 times the amount of milligauss than we get in any given day from
Right.
appliances or devices.
Yeah. But they consider
It
that
even mentions
natural.
it
Um,
even mentions the fact that, yeah, holding your phone to your face while you're talking on it isn't necessarily going to give you brain cancer, because
right. Yeah.
our cell phones, even though they do give off EMF is not what's harmful to you. It's
Right.
the byproduct of it, which is the radiation and things like that.
Right.
Actually, EMF is a byproduct of radiation, because EMF is the way you can measure how much is you would potentially be absorbing. So if your microwave while it's running is giving off, I think it said 300 milligauss. Let me look
Yeah.
at the chart again. Um. All right. So where was
Well, they do this in
microwave ovens? Okay, microwave ovens at. I'm assuming this isn't while it's powered on, because this says, all right, at 6 inches away, distance from appliance, 6 inches, 100 to 300 milligauss. Okay, that's virtually nothing. At 1 foot, it's 1 to 200 milligauss.
okay.
At 2 feet, 1 to 30 milligauss. At 4 feet, asterisk, whatever that is, to 20 milligauss. So it's enough. If it's enough to register on your meters, because meters are set to measure uh as low as 0.1
It measures, well, it tells you on the EMF
to,
meter 1.5 milligogs to 20 plus milligogs.
okay, yeah. So beyond 4 feet, 4 feet or beyond, it's less than 20 milligauss, right? That's a drop in the ocean compared to what the Earth's core gives off. And let me see where it says
Yeah.
something.
Now, see, they did this one with hertz, and they just said that it shows you the correlation by frequency, um, which I don't know why they did it by frequency of hertz instead of milligogs, but
Okay, let's see. Magnetic fields are measured in units called gauzes. or telsa, and typically are reported in milligauss or microtelsa. Note, 1 Gauss equals 1,000 milligauss. 1 milligauss equals 0.1 microtelsa. So, okay, how does nature reduce EMF? All right, I don't think this is the one that explains the Earth's core. That may have been another. Yeah, I can't remember. I think it was 3,000 milligauss. All right, here they discuss hertz. Okay, energy associated with X-rays, for example, is at a higher end of the electromagnetic spectrum. Okay, scientists generally agree that 60 hertz fields are not powerful enough to damage the body's genetic material or to directly cause cancer. Okay, so at 60 hertz, it's pretty much safe. So
Right.
the
So
scientist
the
uses the hertz,
right.
apparently.
So
When it,
right. 'Cause
only
the
when it comes to
is a measurement of the magnetic field strength.
right,
Hertz is
right,
the measurement of the frequency,
yes,
and it's done with cycles per second.
right. There you go.
So
Yeah,
right. So but it did show the hertz, like in the different chakras, meaning that they do have this energy field. So your body does have it. We know this.
right.
So I would definitely think then that the spirits would have it still, if
Right.
there's still energy and they're
Well,
still able to roam, you know?
yes, all energy possesses some type of EMF, some level, not type. All energy possesses some level of EMF. And if a spirit is all energy, okay, it just goes to say that you could detect EMF from a spirit's energy, right? All energy possesses EMF. The only problem is there's so many people. The argument is, are spirits real? You know,
Right.
that's what the non-believers say. They're trying to
Right.
convince us that spirits aren't even real. So the EMF you're picking up isn't spirit because spirits aren't real. You know,
Right.
but once if they could realize that spirits are real, then they couldn't doubt the EMF detected. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? The only reason why they doubt the detection of spirit EMF is because they doubt the existence of spirits. So they want to
Right.
tell you, oh, that EMF has to be coming from some other source. You're standing right next to a TV. Yeah, well, if you look at this chart, my TV doesn't give off that much EMF, and it doesn't give it off this far. It only goes up to 2 feet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
And that's
and
turned on. you
that's
know,
the whole thing, you can,
but,
you know, if you stand out in the middle of the cemetery where there's no electric, you know, um, and you're
RTI.
getting EMF signals, where the hell is it coming from? You know?
Right, exactly. I mean,
Um, when you can prove to me, I don't have to prove to you that this is a spirit. You have to prove to
right,
me where it's coming from
uh,
if it's not a spirit. How
right,
about that?
right,
You know?
right. And my biggest argument against all that is every appliance, every device that puts off EMF, it's a localized EMF. The EMF coming off your computers, TVs, phones, refrigerators, microwaves, That's localized. You can't take that EMF unless you take that microwave and move it to another room. The EMF to that coming off that microwave is only go as far as it's allowed to go, and it's only as strong as it's allowed to be. If you turn that microwave on and you go beyond the limit of how far that EMF can go, you're not going to pick up that EMF. Okay.
Right.
It's
Well,
not going to say, oh, Christina's going into the living room. We got to move our EMF. That's my biggest argument when people say, oh, you can't, it's got to be this or it's got to be that.
right.
When,
Well, because you could see my meters are stationary.
right.
They're not blinking right now. When I had my microwave on, that shit was crazy. It went all the way to
Right.
red and it stayed there. The microwave is still behind me now, but it's off
Right.
and there's no EMF. If someone comes and touches this meter and it blinks, it's not my microwave because they've been
Right.
sitting here quiet for all this time. So now if
Exactly.
one of you lovelies maybe can touch it and say hi to us on the one of the meters, that'd be lovely to
And
kind of prove my point. You got bored of
it's
me?
like
What happened?
I say about all right, like the second app I downloaded, another VVE app.
Right.
This one you can actually set you can actually set it to run to show EMF or geo. Okay, you can turn the geo off and just use the EMF. So when I'm walking around with that, and the EMF sensor in my device picks up an EMF signal in the middle of my living room, and it beeps a few times, and then it goes silent, and then I walk around and find another, and it beeps a few times, goes silent. That's a sign that whatever that EMF is traveling. It has the capability to travel from one place to another.
They agreed with you.
EMF
They both
coming
blinked at
off
the same time.
EMF coming off devices can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Once you're beyond that EMF, the electromagnetic field, once you're beyond that field, you're not going to detect it. That because that's as far as that field can go on your device.
You see, they blinked for you, Boomer. They agreed
if
with
I'm
you.
6 feet away from my TV, when it's off, doesn't give off EMF other than unless I'm 2 inches in front of it. But when it's on, according to the chart, I think it's a 2 foot, 2 to 4 feet. So I'm in the middle of my living room, which is 5.5 feet from the TV with it off. I'm picking up EMF. It ain't the TV because the EMF from that TV can't suddenly jump 5 feet into the middle of the living room. You know what I'm saying? So how else can you explain it, wise guy? You know, you're the smart guy. You're the scientist. Explain that one. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Like, you know, even when I put my phone close, you'll see the EMF goes off.
Right.
So as soon as I take it away, so if there is no device next to these, when they blink, I know something else is going on because I haven't moved, right?
And
you
the
know
fact that it's not running constantly.
Right.
Oh, by the way, again, I should inform you when you do tests like that. It like probably the amount of time you had it going when you did it probably is ill effective. But if you like you run, let's say you run your microwave for 5-10 minutes, next year EMF while it's on and you got it going off, you may have after you turn it off, you may have to reset your EMF meters too, because that prolonged contact with
this
EMF.
time I only ran it for 30 seconds and then
exactly. So that probably wouldn't, but I'm just saying, just keep in mind that prolonged EMF contact can mess with the sensors and stuff. They even with the cell phones that have EMF sensors in them, if you're using an app and you're holding it next to something for 2-3 minutes, if you're holding it too long, you may have to reset your EMF sensor so that later on you don't get false positives. Just a little thing to remember.
Yeah.
Because sometimes those sensors do get stuck.
Oh yeah, and you
Even the
have to turn them
devices.
off and leave them off a little
But
while. Even if
yeah,
you change the
turn it off,
batteries,
leave it
and
off.
then you can.
Um, funeral tomorrow. Why would
Oh, for
somebody
Mary's
want to?
aunt.
Why would you want to know if somebody's going to film a funeral? Who wants to film a funeral? Why would somebody want to watch a film of a funeral?
Well, if you can't be there, some people like offer the live stream link for like disabled people who can't go to the, and you wanna be
Oh yeah,
present
for
for the.
family members and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I thought she meant for like posting publicly.
No, no.
I'm
she
like,
she
because
meant
I've
like,
seen them on Instagram and TikTok. I'm
oh
like,
no,
why the fuck would people do that? Why would
no. I
you
mean like
post your shit like that publicly?
no.
Like,
Like
come on.
I like there was a live stream link to my grandson's little when he was in the ICU so that I could see him because I wasn't in Indiana,
Oh
I
yeah,
couldn't go
yeah. I
see
mean,
him,
that's different. That's different. But
so these things you want, so I think that's what they were asking her. Will there be a live stream link so that she can watch?
I'll tell you what. The first person that live streams my burning is going to get haunted.
Right, you have to have a private link. That's right. They might do that, Mary. You should find out. Um, I took a picture of my mother
I just
in
think
her.
that's twisted. That funeral home would do that. I think that's demented, man. To
Yeah,
live
no, I
stream
mean,
somebody's funeral.
no,
Now,
not to live stream it.
private, maybe like if they were doing it on a Zoom call privately for people who couldn't make it, like you were saying,
Yeah,
so they could feel like they're there giving their condolences. That's one thing. I understand that. Close friends and family members, yes. But the shit I've seen like on TikTok and Instagram, one of the reasons why I gave up watching TikTok because there's too much of that shit going on.
oh
And
no,
I
I
think
would
it's
never.
disrespectful and distasteful.
I mean, I did take one
No,
picture
but
of my
no.
mother so that my aunt could see it. I didn't live stream anything. I didn't do none of that. I didn't take no video for her. I took one picture of my mother lying out because she couldn't make it. She was in Greece.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so I sent it to her saying, look how pretty
No,
mom looks,
like I said, I
you know.
understand those. I'm talking about like
But
the idiots that are out live streaming that shit.
yeah,
For the
no, you
whole
can't
world to
live stream. That's
see.
crazy.
Like, I mean, that's kind of distasteful, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Like, yeah, I didn't post the picture on Instagram of my mother in her,
Right. I
in
mean, that's
her.
crazy. I've seen that happen too. Like, if you're a celebrity, forget it, man. People got that shit all over. Like,
Yeah.
they. It's all in my eyes. It is totally distasteful to publicize. That shit's private. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a private moment for family and friends to say goodbye, not for the whole
Yeah.
world, not to be a spectacle to the whole
Right.
world. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
Now, I
fuck
mean,
that, man.
like you said though, if it's like Elvis or something, like when Elvis died and you wanna, the news wanna put it up, some parts of it, I almost understand that. But for regular people, why?
A.L. Skinner in the house. What's up? Oh
Hey,
shit, this ain't my
Alex.
live stream, is it? This is your live stream.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. I mean, you should go ahead and read those. Or I don't know what happened to that video I made on it. I did a 2 or 3 hour video on them, going through the whole article and shit. Mostly for the benefit of the debunkers who try to tell us that, if you're picking up EMF, it's got to be so. So I did it to as a way to let them know, hey, not all EMF is because of somebody's device. Yes, there are ways to trick the EMF. Those EMF detectors are easily tricked because they can be activated by a walkie-talkie keying up. Okay, and on those shows and videos on social media, that's exactly what they have been doing. They've been triggering the EMFs with like radios and things like that. That's kind of shit they're talking about for the most part. But then you got those few select who think if you're using an EMF, you're automatically cheating it because it's not, because they swear spirits aren't real. Those are the diehard fucking scientific thinkers, that can't believe in an afterlife or spirits being earthbound, shit like that. They're the ones who think that if you're catching EMF, you're somehow doing it some crazy way, and it's not spirits. And that's why I did that video. And I looked at 3 or 4 other sites as well that explain EMF. But the 2 I found, these 2 explain it much better than anything I've ever seen. Because they even, like on that one, they even put up a chart, a table, telling you how much EMF it puts off and how far away from the device or appliance that the EMF can travel, and after that distance, you're not getting that EMF. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
A can opener running puts out 600 milligauss, I think. And that was the highest one on the chart for appliances, if I remember.
Really? All right. So I have one behind me that's probably not that. I wonder if I turn it on, will these things go off? Let's see.
Oh, a hair dryer can put out 1 to 700 at 6 inches.
Let's see. I got my.
I think these numbers indicate when they're off and when they're on. So I think the one, like for microwave ovens, at 6 inches with it off is 100, with it on is 300. I think that's how this chart goes.
They did blink when I turned it on for a second, but then they turned off. So I don't know. I think it's fine.
Did you hold it 6 inches away?
It's way further than 6 inches away.
Well, it wouldn't show up.
Well, because you said it gives 600 hertz, so I figured,
Well, hair dryer. You did the can opener, not hair dryer.
I did the can opener.
Okay. Yeah, they don't have can opener on this list. This must be a different list than I saw before. Blankets. Yeah, this is a different one. The other one had can opener on it. This one doesn't. But this does have the hair dryer is the highest. When it's running, it's 700. Not running, it's a 1. Vacuum cleaners, not running is 100. Running is 700.
Oh, well, that's if you have them plugged in, I'm assuming, because if they're not plugged in.
plugged in and turned on is 700. Plugged in
Right.
is 100.
Right.
Copy machines, 4 while it's running, 200. And none of these numbers are high enough to cause any kind of damage anyway. When
Right.
the Earth's core's natural EMF is much, much higher,
They
and we
both
absorb
blinked
that
in.
every day. You know what I'm saying?
Did you see that, Boomer? They both blinked in unison.
Oh, no, I was looking at the chart.
No. You'll have to do that
Yeah.
when Boomer's looking. You'll have to give us a little fist pump there. Maybe? No?
You
We're
mean a
not.
fist bump?
Yeah, fist bump. There you go.
There ain't nobody pumping my fist, damn it. I'm the only one that pumps my fist, damn it. Mary fall asleep? No, just sitting here letting you guys talk. Okay.
You there, Mary? I know she was talking in the chat, but we lost her audio, definitely. Because she's not on mute and I don't hear not a sound. Mary, if you're here, we lost your audio.
Oh, did she mention something about she had to get up and go to the bathroom earlier?
I don't know.
I think she had to go to the bathroom. Oh, now she dropped off.
No, she was there. We couldn't hear her, so there was something wrong with her audio.
Yeah, now she's gone.
Yeah, because she's going to fix it. She's going to come back.
You hope.
Yes.
Stream this to your audience. I don't want to stream this to my audience. I probably should have piggybacked your live stream, huh? Maybe I'd get some more people in if I had somebody more interesting.
There's Mary. Let's see.
I don't see her.
She's here.
I don't see her.
Can you hear me?
Where is she?
Yes, I hear you.
Where is she? I can't hear her. I can't see her. What happened?
You can't see me, man.
Where's she
What do you
going?
mean you can't see me?
Is she talking? I
Messing
can't
with
hear
you,
her.
Mary.
I'm here, Boomer.
Oh, okay. Must have been my hearing. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how people do all these crazy things with their names and stuff. Like add fucking like widgets and shit to them.
I know some of them have these weird how they design of their name.
Some people have their names backwards and upside down or in squiggly writing and shit like that.
Somebody told me there's an app with special font that you can use, and that's how you can get that. But I think you can put for YouTube anyway, like those leaves that AL have. The leaves are regular emojis, which you can use in your name.
They're leaves. They look like stars to me.
No, they're leaves.
Okay.
And you can
cool.
You can put those in your name.
That I want to, but I was just curious.
Yeah, but if you want the cool font for your name on YouTube, there's an app for that. Like there's an app for everything.
I'm cool enough. I don't need my fonts to be cool.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to. I don't have to compensate for anything by altering the
They were talking about
fonts
a
of my name.
video, and I went to look to see if they were going to do that or not, or see
Oh,
if it was on the obituary part of it. And I run into pictures, and that's where I was doing.
No.
oh, yeah. No, it's not demented. Huh?
She was talking about when you said it's demented for people to put it on, but I think she
Oh, she thought I meant like,
right for regular people, and then
yeah,
you
she didn't
explained it.
realize I was talking about like people who
People
post
putting
it
it on
on
TikTok,
fucking
live streaming it.
TikTok
Yeah.
and shit like that. Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
Now, if they do it for privately, and they'll
Right,
give a copy to the family members if they want it,
right,
but they don't share that like that. You got to have a number to put in to even get in to watch a video.
right.
Right, like I had to make a special whole thing to get in to see my son, to get in
Right,
to see my grandson on his NICU unit in his NICU unit.
right.
Yeah. See that I understand. So
I don't know if the family will do it because our family's kind of old fashioned when it comes to that. It's it
yeah.
goes
So
down
my
it goes down generations on that.
Yeah.
yeah.
About taking pictures of the dead or
I'm old fashioned that way too.
videotaping. Yeah, me too. I don't take pictures of the dead.
I think it's along
You
the
don't do it.
lines of exploitation.
Yeah,
You know.
that too, but it's also it's morbid. I think it's morbid to do. Now if if they run a live stream for us that can't be there, I understand that, but they're not going to stand over top of the casket. You know what I'm saying? They're not
No, it's
videoing
going to
like
be from the
that.
back of the room,
As a
and
matter
they're
of
going to
fact,
show
I
you
don't
the
even
whole
Right.
room
Just
and
so they
and the
could witness
priest.
the ceremony and stuff like that.
right,
Yeah.
and they don't even show the body. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's done of the
Well,
ceremony
they
and
don't even do
of who
viewings
goes up and
anymore,
talks
do
and stuff
they?
like that.
Don't they call it what is it they call it? Celebration of life. It's not even a
Right,
viewing
yeah.
anymore. Or what's the other word for it?
It's called Celebration of Life
Awake.
or
Wait, yeah, they don't do it. Like at my aunt's, they just did like her granddaughter, I think, created like a DVD
Oh, they
of
believe it
right.
like
for you
Yeah,
now.
life,
I
and
did
they
that for
viewed it and stuff and all that.
yeah, I helped do that
And
for my cousin, for two of
yeah,
my cousins actually.
Now you're going to play
And
with it?
the music and stuff for it and all that too. And then
matter of fact,
but
the last funeral I went to that it was an open coffin funeral was my uncle's 15 years ago. My dad's half brother. That was 15 years ago, and I've only been to two
Well, my mother's was
viewings
13
since
years
then.
ago.
So
That was my last one, I think, my mother's. Well, and then her best
yeah,
friend and the husband. So 10 years at least since I've been to one. And back then they still called them wakes.
yeah, that's what
well
I was
they
trying
still
to get at.
do.
Yeah,
They still do. That's what they had today for her. They had the showing awake or however you want to call it. I call it awake. But and then
well,
tomorrow they'll have the funeral.
maybe
But
that's just a personal preference.
Maybe.
but
That
when I
I
think
thought it
the
was
difference
standard.
in it
I don't
is
know.
SI celebration of life is whenever you're cremated and they have like a memorial for you. You know, let's
Yeah.
celebrate your life that way. You
Oh,
know,
the memorial part is celebration of life. Yes.
right? Celebration of life. And then to me, awake is awake. I mean,
Yeah.
showing it's just what it is. I mean, it's what it's always
Oh
what it
yeah,
was
that's right.
named years ago. And
The wake is the thing after the viewing, where you go to the home, you go to the wherever it's set up at, and
Well, I thought that was after.
yeah,
Maybe I guess that is the wake, isn't it?
yeah. I think the wake is separate from the viewing and
I don't know. There's
Well, I think
things, but
we did it. The viewing was for the family only, and we had the viewing prior to the wake. Then we had the wake, which was for
yeah,
everybody.
yeah,
And then we had the service at the church, but it wasn't an open coffin. The
right,
coffin was there. The priest did the whole thing. And
well,
then
we
we
have.
walked from that church. The church was in the cemetery, and then we
right,
went to the burial part,
right.
and that was it. So
I've never been to a burial
I
before.
can tell you
Well,
this. This is how they're doing it
I witnessed,
because
but
I know this is how I done it. They're having a showing, which happened today,
yeah.
and it ends at it's already ended,
Oh,
and
9.
for today, and then tomorrow they'll have the show. They can show again, and from 9 to 10, or from 9 to 11, something like that, and then they'll have the funeral. But on the
Right.
showing day, there's 2 hours ahead of letting anybody else in, that the immediate family can go in, like the nieces, not the nieces and nephews, but
Right.
the grandkids and the daughters and sons and all that, are allowed to go in for the 2 hours before that, and then after that they let everybody else come in. And but that's usually how it works with my family. And then we do have a dinner afterwards always,
right.
which is, I guess, is the wake. Um, uh, and that always, I don't know where they're having it at. I'm sure they're probably having it at the church that she was a member of for years.
Oh yeah,
So,
we always had the dinner outside or at somebody's house. Like for my mother.
oh, not this. They'll have the church will put the meal on for them,
Oh
or
yeah, no,
the
they
family
don't do that
will.
here.
The family also pitches in. All of us always bring a dish, usually along with whatever the church or whoever's putting it on does. So when I mean I got a big family, I have a big family. They like to eat.
Hmm. Yeah, we ended up like I know when my mother passed. No, when my father passed, we had the big luncheon afterwards at my house. Well, I was pregnant at the time. I didn't
Right.
want to do anything, so
That's the wake
we
part. Yeah.
we had it at the house, and then the
That's how we always did it.
with my mother
I'll
after
be back.
the burial, we went to a restaurant because my grandmother took everybody out, but family, to the restaurant. But other than that, yeah,
Well,
that's how we do it.
Aunt Dean was a twin. She was an identical twin actually, and of course her twin didn't live. I mean, she did till she was 7, but it's another story. But anyway, she they skipped a generation, and then my cousin had her daughter had twins. Anyway, um, I can say that they well no her she didn't Aunt Dean didn't have twins, but uh her daughter did, identical twins. And but anyway, tell the difference between them now. What I'm trying to get at is there was 5. Aunt Dean had 5 kids, so you imagine how many there is along with them, and it goes on down to you know I mean they just had a 5th generation picture with her last in the last 2 weeks. uh Her great grandchild had a grandbaby, so
Wow.
it was 5th
I
generation
don't
picture.
think in the whole history of our family name that we've ever had more than 3 generations alive at one time.
Really?
Maybe 4, but I don't ever remember a time that there's been 5 generations. Wow.
I was
Oh,
thinking
yeah.
she was
That's rare.
97. She was 96. She's going to
generations.
be 97 this year in September. But
Crazy.
anyway,
Oh, shit.
I mean, it was her. It's her, then her daughter, then her daughter's daughter, and then her daughter, and then her daughter's daughter's daughter,
Daughter.
and then the baby. So I mean, it was crazy. I'm sitting there, I'm figuring it out. I was looking at that, and I'm thinking, that's 5 generation picture there. And
Yeah.
I sent that to them. They said, yeah, what's what we was figuring out, that it was 5 generations. And that's different to have a picture. But she died 2 weeks later, so I mean, pretty much 2 weeks, somewhere in there. But she got to hold the baby.
Oh,
She
that's
was holding the baby, and when the picture was taken. So, and they fell asleep together, and they just let her lay back on the. She was laying back
Can
on
you
the
hear me
bed,
now?
and the baby fell asleep right there in her arms, and
Okay, my
left
mic
her
and
to stay
speaker
there.
keeps screwing up.
Uh-oh.
Might be
Um,
me. Is
There,
it
I
me?
think I got it now.
no, you sound fine.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, for some reason, every time I move my microphone, it disconnects the mini USB. And I don't know why it affects my speakers, because my speaker's not plugged into the mic. But for some reason, every time that gets screwed up, my computer defaults to the speakers through the Yeti, which are not connected to the Yeti. I don't understand that. It's crazy. But did you hear me when I was saying earlier about how, in all, from what as far as I know, from in all the history of our family name, we've never had more than 3 generations
Night,
alive at
Kelly.
once. Never once have we ever had 5 generation of people.
I face ace.
And I think that's on
Yeah,
both sides. My mom's and my dad's.
I think so
That's
too, because
that's
my parents
crazy.
both
That's
died
rare.
early. So even though, like, my mother's alive, my mother isn't alive, so,
Right.
um, and then you have me, you have my daughter, and you have the baby. Um, my daughter's
Yeah.
son. So yeah, we took a generational picture one time when it was my grandmother, my mother, me and my sister and my daughter.
That's
Um,
4. There you go.
but then the next
Yeah.
one didn't have
Grandmother, mother, you, your daughter. That's 4 generations.
4. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I said. And you said no.
No,
I'm like, how is it not?
you're right. It's 4 generations. But now,
Right. Right.
like
Yeah.
when I took it, it was my grandmother, me, my daughter, and her son. We're missing my mother, so it can't be
Oh,
5 generations. It's still
right.
4, even
Right.
though it's
It's
at the
still
5th
4.
generation.
Right.
There's, my
Yeah.
mother's deceased. So
Yeah. Right.
my aunt's still around, which is, like when I put my aunt in, I'm like, okay, well, it's still because my aunt is in my mother's
My
generation because they're sisters.
my son is the only great grandchild my grandmother ever saw. And she passed away before he was 1, I think. So that was, let's see, that would be grandma, my dad, me, my son. That's still only 4. Like we've
It's
never
very
had
hard to
we've
get.
never had 5 generations all alive at the same time before.
It's very seldom that you
It's
get a
like,
five
damn.
generation
That's
picture.
why I said, wow, that's very rare. I was saying all this while my mic was fucking up, so
Yeah,
I didn't hear it.
very seldom does anybody get that.
Yep. Wow. What's up, Face? He's laughing at me again. Why are you laughing at me all the time? Everybody's always laughing at me. Look at that. Oh, my tummy hurts.
Oh no. But I appreciate you guys all hanging out. I appreciate Boomer Mary coming up and helping us talk about EMFs.
Yeah, I'm glad I could add something to that.
Super interesting. I did put some links up in the chat. I think even Boomer put some links in the chat if you want to learn more about EMFs. There's about EMFs and how they could disrupt the balance of your chakras. And all
I
sorts
don't
of
have
things.
a chakra. I was born unbalanced because I have no chakra.
You dropped on your head.
You have one of
I
them.
didn't need to be dropped on my head.
You have a third eye chakra in there, okay?
I didn't need to be dropped on my head. I was born there with.
That's my excuse. I was dropped on my head.
I'm gonna let go of the
accident.
No, have it. Hey, RPI, have a good one.
Good night, RPI.
Good night, Randy. Much love to you.
Randy?
Yeah, that's his name.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I call you Randy? I'm gonna get off here and go lay down too.
Yes.
See if
Let
my
me
stomach
turn you
settles
guys
down.
around towards me here. Good night, everyone.
All
Thank
right.
you
Well,
guys
thanks
all
for letting me come up and
thanks for coming.
Give him my 2 cents.
Yeah.
You're welcome, Boomer. That's what I was asking her if she wanted me to send you the link. And she went over to Messenger and said, yeah. She said, but does he want to? I said, I think so. I said, but she said, well, let him ask. And boom, you asked right at the time. That's the conversation we was having. Yeah. It wasn't bad.
No.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone. Thanks, Mary, for
everybody
coming up. And thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us.
I'm going to jump off here, too, so Frank can watch TV.
All right.
I need to catch my breath a little bit.
I knew it was about me, though. Yeah, I said I didn't know because you did your live stream, so I didn't know if you were laying down and you wanted to come up. It
wasn't bad, Boomer. We don't never talk bad about you. I will never do that. I love
Don't miss the moon tonight. It's 100% full right now. So then let's run outside. I'm going to see you guys Saturday Night Live. Hopefully we'll have a guest for you, and if not, we'll do something else fun. Maybe I'll take a walk depending on the weather if I don't have a guest, and we'll take you outside a bit.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah,
I'm jumping off.
Okay. So we'll see you guys on Saturday night.
Remember, please discard all candy wrappers and popcorn containers in the nearest trash receptacle. Thank you. We are so glad you came. Okay, bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Bye. Is everyone gone? Huh? Good. Oh my gosh, my cheeks are killing me. I can't keep smiling like this anymore. I'm exhausted.